Hello, everybody. I am Omaro Mazlyn, e-coach here at Jamaica College, and welcome to the Information Corner. The purpose of this particular Information Corner is that we like to help the third formers with their subject selection process. And here I have with me Derryk MacGregor, who is going to be helping us by sharing his own experiences because he's now in fourth form, and of course, he did the process last year. Hi, Derryk, welcome.
Hello, glad to be here.
We have another fourth former this morning. His name is Amair Myrie, and he's going to be sharing his experiences with the process, and hopefully, you will also learn. All right. So, hi, Amir. How are you doing this morning?
Well, good morning, sir. I'm doing quite fine. How are you?
Not bad at all. We have, very like just five questions that we want the uh, third formers to be thinking of. What were some of the things that you think that the students should think of when they're choosing their subjects?
Well, the subjects are there to help you get a job. So, what you need to think of is what you want your career path to be. What do
Mhm.
you want to be in the future? Um, then you can look for relating subjects that relate to the how. Like, let's say you want to become a technician. Obviously, you want to be doing IT. You would be doing biology because that doesn't relate to what you want to be. So you pick subjects that relate to your career path and what you want to be when you're older.
Thank you. So, Amir, just to give the guys an idea of what is expected, can you just share generally what was your experience in doing the subject selection process in third form?
Well, at first, I was overwhelmed because this is the choice that dictates the next 3 years or 2 years that you have left in high school, or
Hmm.
rather Jamaica College. But I was overwhelmed mainly because I started to second guess myself, which is something you shouldn't do. Unlike most of you, and this is just maybe, I had made preparations, such as my colleague Derryk MacGregor. I had sat the HSB exam in third form, and this guided me towards my occupation, which is to become a marine biologist. Marine biologist. In choosing your subjects, you have to think about your career. Is this what you really want to do? And don't even stress it that much, because time is changing. Your career now could become obsolete by the time you grow up. So
Hmm.
have a set of skills, become a well-rounded individual so that you're marketable. Yesterday I joined a meeting for with one-on-one executive Ricardo, and he taught us. Well, I had learned that in having a good set of skills, having a wonderful resume, a pretty resume, you can find a job anywhere. So even if you wanted to become a marine biologist like me, maybe you end up being a basketball player or something, or say an accountant at Scotiabank. The options are limitless.
You participated in the seminars that were held recently, right? Like the scholarship seminars and, the one that happened earlier today, which was Akeem and Ricardo, was sharing their experiences about going to universities and the process of that. Do you think that those seminars were helpful, and that do you think these third formers should
Oh,
actually check them out as well?
of course, of course. It's always good to hear more opinions and more thoughts because when I was always hearing about college, I was always hearing negative things and how college is stressful and everything. But it's always good to hear another side where they say, yes, it's stressful, but if you do so and so, it won't be. And get some tips. And basically, if you have one side of a story, it's not a good story. You should have a full picture and understand it. So seeing all these seminars and hearing what they have to say and preparing yourself for what's to come is very good and helps you from not being overwhelmed like me because I did not know anything about high school before I got in here or fourth former. anything really going up. So I got overwhelmed a lot every time I advanced in any way.
Mm-hmm. All right. So talking about being overwhelmed, right? What about those students who currently have no idea what it is that they would like to do in terms of a career path? Do you have any suggestions or tips for those persons?
Well, on, for me, I knew exactly what I wanted to be. I mean, I went through a bunch of changes, but eventually I stuck on something. But for my friends now, none of them, none of them have a career path in mind. So what I hear from them, which is a great point, is that if you don't have a career path, yeah, I mean, eventually you're gonna get one, but in the process, you just pick the subjects that you like, because you're not gonna do a job that you don't like.
Right.
Of course, you want to, make money, but you want to make money in a way that you like. So you have to pick subjects that you like, and most likely, um, it's going to turn out to the career job that you like.
Tell me, what was like one of the major culture difference or shock that you experienced when you moved from third form to fourth form?
Well, culture. Well, there's a big change, to be honest.
Mm,
When you're in first and third form, you have around, I think, 15 subjects, 14 subjects.
right.
I only have 8, but these 8 subjects are stretched, and stressed out.
Yeah.
It's not really a big change, but the mindset that you have must change. It must be more focused.
Right.
You can't you can't be lazy. You can't say, all right, I'll do it tomorrow, and then it just goes continuing till it turns into a missing assignment.
Right.
It's
Okay.
hard. It's hard because it's the online platform now.
Hmm.
But if actual school was in session, I think it'd be easier on a lot of students.
All right. So you were talking a little bit about you already know what you wanted to do. Just tell us more about the Derryk MacGregor process. How did you choose your subjects? Right.
Okay. Well,
And that's the fact.
I wanted to become an animator,
Hmm.
and so I picked a bunch of subjects I think would be good for that. But also, what I did was I looked for a college and I looked for their course in animation, and I looked at the requirements. So I really wanted to do EDPM, but because the requirements is IT, I went with IT. So you really
Hmm.
have to, if you know what your career path is, think ahead. Look at where you want to go and look at the requirements and pick those requirements now. The earlier, the better. You don't
Awesome.
you don't want to be in this class, then you figure out your thing, learn the requirements, then move over. So as soon as you figure out what you want to be, go for it.
Best thing to do is talk it over with your mom or dad. I think that's the number one priority. Sure, you want to be a big man and do it by yourself, but a little guidance goes a long way. You understand?
Hmm.
For me, first I thought about it within myself. Took about 2 days, 2 days to actually just think about it, and sat down with my mom and said, "Mom, help me out. Show me the list of subjects I have to choose from. Yes, I want to become a marine biologist, but which subjects do I need to become a marine biologist?" So we actually
Right.
spent a couple hours researching what I really needed to do. One thing that is also important in not just guidance from your parents, but talk to your teachers.
Uh,
For me, I had about 3 teachers which I actually spoken to about me becoming a marine biologist, and they did advise me. Right, 2 biology
right.
teachers and 1 geography teacher, and now I'm doing biology and geography along with the other 2 science subjects.
Awesome. So the sources of guidance, you need to have multiple sources of guidance
Yeah,
from your parents to your teachers, and of course, you know that at Jamaica College we have the Dean of Students Affairs as well as the guidance counselors that will be very, 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 very welcoming to your questions about careers and stuff like that. So that's an excellent point. Any final tips? Any final advice?
Um, Career path is gonna be very hard to pick to choose because there's so many things you can be and there's so many things you don't want to be, and people really have narrow heads. Just remember, careers are changing drastically. 10 years from 10 years from now, most of the jobs we have now would, if if I went up to you and told you I had one of these jobs now, people would probably laugh so hard. So just remember, by the time you're out of college, the job that you wish was real probably will be. So just stick with the subjects you think will help you in the future. Most likely, the opportunity will come to you eventually if you work hard enough.
All right,
No
so
problem.
there you have it. Just to remind you that we have been doing some seminars, we have been doing some speeches, well, not speeches, we had guest speakers who came and they spoke to us about scholarships, how to get scholarships, the process of it, how you write letters. We also had some old boys coming and talking to us about their experiences at college and how they got there. These videos will be in the link below, as well as we'll have the other interview for you linked below. Thank you so much for joining us in this information corner. Do hope to see you again soon.